Hey friends, what's good? Welcome to Story Time. Or actually, it's more of a let's be real today. I wanted to talk a little bit about grief and the loss of things and people. And I want to, first of all, disclaimer I've got an overhead air going, not AC, just a fan, so it's very loud. Plus, every neighbor and their dog is out today doing things in the yards. So we're going to hear all sorts of stuff in the background, I'm sure. But today I wanted to talk about something because I was thinking about it on my walk. Um, with grief, I don't know if anybody is going through a process of grief right now. Since losing Dave, I mean, it's been a year and a half, and every day it's crazy because I'm not sad. The last thing I would want to be is sad because I realize the situation, it's not going to get any better if I'm sad. It's going to make me feel more sad. So I decided that I would consciously, when I'm thinking about Dave, just think about the good things and just try to, because you could definitely just sit and stew on the negative aspects of it and when he was sick and all that kind of stuff, or you could think about the amazing times and the good stuff. And it got me to thinking about, I love Carl Jung and psychology and why we do the things we do. And he had this fantastic idea. Now, I can't remember what it was called, but I'll give you the gist of it. It's where you actively think about a negative consequence so that you can prepare yourself for said negative thing to happen. So, for instance, I was kind of getting in a zone today where, God forbid, the dogs pass. So I thought, oh, well, remember, if you start thinking about it now in a way that makes it easier to digest all of that when it does happen. So what he does is he sort of says it's preparing you for those negative, horrible, horrific, scary things by kind of giving you the feeling for a minute. And it works really well because I had sorry if I say again. I should get 25 cents to myself every time I say I'd be really rich. But I was thinking about when I rolled over in our truck and went over a mountain, and I thought to myself that the night before, had Dave told me, that we were going to be driving out and it was going to be terrifying weather or whatever, I wouldn't have done it. And so sometimes I think we do things, we foresee what's going to happen, and then we think the worst of it, and it's terrifying and stuff. But in this case, thinking about something that might happen, because obviously it's inevitable, we're all going to die. Every single one of us is not getting out alive, including our dogs. So I was thinking about what I could think about when I thought about the dogs, and it was more or less kind of a planning thing where you plan what you would do in that kind of scenario. So I did. I kind of sat down with myself and thought, this is what I might do, and that's what, and it absolutely stops you from getting that drop into your gut feeling of fear and sadness. It kind of it calms it down. I was thinking of a word like squelch. It brings it down to a more manageable thing. And it's funny because when I was doing palliative care with all of the family members and people that would come in and we would talk about death and the dying of their loved one, it was always the same thing. Let's think about the positive, beautiful things that that person brought every time they came into a room, or whatever they did, whatever their accolades were in life. If they did something spectacular, they were amazing teachers, or they were, really good at something. Let's think about those things. And it does work. It really does work because now, after thinking about the dogs today, and because you connect, once you lose one, you're thinking, oh man, I'm going to keep losing everything. Well, we are. It's just somebody's always going to go first. One person's going to see all the death, and then one is never going to see any of the death because they're the first one to go. So just trying to wrap your head around what those feelings that might come up, I think makes it a little easier to digest the whole idea that something is going to pass, because it sucks so bad to lose things and people that you love. But if we can just learn to kind of calm those feelings down, I and it's weird because when Dave passed away, we were both prepared. We knew, but we didn't want to admit that it was probably going to happen. Like we just wanted it to be okay, but we knew. And so when I was with all the paramedics, I had 12 paramedics at the house, and they said, "How are you so calm?" And I said, "Well, I've been kind of preparing for this. Like not to this capacity, like I felt this horrific feeling, but I also knew that, okay, I got to get back on the horse immediately. I'm in charge now of myself. I got to figure out what to do." And it really did help to not visualize it, but to think about certain things. Like that's why we get insurance. That's why we get, get your will made and all that kind of stuff, because we're sort of preparing. But that whole initial feeling that comes in, that's something that you would never expect to feel. I had no idea I was going to feel the way I felt because I had dealt with palliative care my whole nursing career. Everybody was passing away, and but it wasn't my husband, and it wasn't, or my child, or my parent, or it wasn't anything like that. So until it actually happens to you, you don't really know how you're going to feel. But it's kind of cool to have some tools to prepare yourself, to not just, put it aside. No, oh, it's never going to happen. It's fine. You're good. You're good. That's just being naive. Like, it's better to have some sort of an idea in your mind so that you can get on with life. Because, in the middle of all the chaos, you still have to maintain your normal semblance of life. And so, yeah, I really thought about that a lot the last couple of days, and even more so today. Because the reason I thought of it was because Sadie and I we were walking. Sadie, Tuck, and I were out in the bush, and we could hear something. And I thought, no, we're going to turn around because I don't know what's out there. We've got deep, like I said, rainforest style bushes here. It's scary. So we turned around, and we came up on the road, and it was funny because Sadie jumped back, and I thought, what? And I guess it's her first little snake she's ever seen. And it was so cute. But it made me think, man, if we were in Australia or something and we got a big, like, there's so many things that could kill you in Australia, snakes and different bugs. So then it got me thinking about what would happen if she got bit by a snake. And then your brain, your imagination just takes over. But it makes you think. It made me think. So I wanted to share that with you guys because none of us are getting out alive. We're going to lose a lot of people in our lives. So prepare yourself. Not for the worst and the worst feeling, but prepare yourself for a feeling because it's going to come up. But anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. It is beautiful here. It's going to be hot and it's lovely. And I apologize for the AC above. It's just a fan but it's really loud. And yeah, so God bless you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe for more stories like this of random, irrelevant things. I, yeah, hit the bell. I don't know. That's about it. I'm getting warm now. I got to take this hat off. Anyway, you guys have a great day and take care. Bye.